Previously on ALEUSION.
Overall, despite some problems, had a great time and can't wait to visit again in the future. Speaking of, what I would do next time.
And now here's what I did next time. Now I know what you are thinking. Why did you go to Michigan's Adventure again? Why not Kings Island or Great America or Cedar Point or some other park? Well, first, Michigan's Adventure is my home park, and second, we had a visitor who wanted to experience the park mainly for shivering timbers. But first, before we talk about Michigan's Adventure again, we're going to take a little detour to a small family fun center closer to home. Pirates Cove in Traverse City, Michigan. Pirates Cove is a chain of mini-golf locations spread across the country, but the Traverse City location is both the original and essentially the flagship location because in addition to mini-golf, they also have bumper boats and go-karts. Here are some highlights of Pirates Cove.
Wait, Blackbeard was buried 14 times? That's worse than Ross Geller.
Yar, the pirates cross the road of death
In order to get to ye nearby resort hotel and plunder for ye arcade cabinets of Cruisin' Exotica.
Foxes enjoy mini golf.
I'm a fox and I approve this message.
Did I get the hole in one? He did!
Pirates Cove is a decent location with some good theming, probably the best theming in Michigan. Unfortunately, I came in last. I think I've been talking long enough about Pirates Cove, so now...
Dosware Pictures presents our feature presentation.
I didn't actually film the park as much as last time, so I'll be making use of both footage from 2023, which will use this label, and copyright-free footage from other channels, which will be credited when shown, and links to these channels will be in the description. Most major parks can be seen off the nearest highway, although some can't. Kings Dominion only has a sign because of the trees that separate it from I-95, and Michigan's Adventure is a few miles away from US 31, surrounded by trees. I watched a few Friends episodes on the way instead of The Office and made it to the park somewhat before opening, but missed the rope drop. At least we could still hear the Legally Blonde music. I think now's the time to mention the big changes from 2023 to 2024. The park got a new walkway near lakeside gliders that gives good views of Thunderhawk and Wolverine Wildcat, plus Wolverine Wildcat got some track work off-season. Oh, and the parent company merged with Six Flags 2 weeks before they went, but the main things are the walkway and the track work. None of us really talked about the merger when it happened, and since it was only recently, there was no mention of Six Flags anywhere. Six Flags and Cedar Fair have merged. What's next? Sheep and wolves living together? The first film rickrolled me. By the way, I forgot to mention it, but last year they played We Like to Party, and I originally thought it was sacrilegious. Now I think it was foreshadowing. Okay, now let's talk about the rides. I started on Woodstock Express to warm up, followed by Zack Zoomer, which played up to my anxiety. I already rode those two last year, so it's nothing new. Now the train ride was closed during our visit. Let's cut to what I plan to do at the end of my original video.
One of my issues is that I barely got good footage of the rides. The only ones I did well were Woodstock Express and Corkscrew. So next time I would definitely get closer to Thunderhawk to film that.
I only got a single clip of Thunderhawk.
Another thing I missed was character interactions, and I would definitely want to meet the characters for real, particularly Snoopy.
We didn't count any characters.
And last, I might get another coaster, possibly Corkscrew, to be my first inverting coaster. Maybe also Mad Mouse.
Ha ha ha, I didn't ride either. Corkscrew and Aerodynamics Corkscrew from 1979 I was most likely too big for. And then Mad Mouse, also by Aero, which navigates through switchbacks like Bam Margera in a shopping cart. I didn't ride it because I was exhausted by that point.
But I would definitely need to do more practice before I can get on the big rides.
Oopsie doopsies, I rode the big rides! I went on both Wolverine Wildcat and even Shivering Timbers. A while back, YouTuber Canobie Coaster said I should get on bigger rides, and...
Canobie Coaster, I did it. I rode a big coaster.
And here's me talking about my experience on Wolverine Wildcat. So I just finished riding the Wolverine Wildcat at Michigan's Adventure. It's the longest coaster, no, it is the longest coaster I've ridden, and it's the biggest coaster I've ridden. Bigger than Zach Zoomer and West Coaster, and I definitely felt scared during it, but I was able to get it through. And now everyone in my family has ridden the Wolverine Wildcat. And after the big din coaster from 1988, which seems to be running smoothly, I finally built up the courage to ride the even bigger Shivering Timbers.
I did Shivering Timbers.
I'm autistic and I have high anxiety, but I was able to build up from one coaster to another to get to my very first coaster over 100 feet, as well as my longest and fastest coaster as well. If you're afraid of doing something, just face your fears and you'll be able to conquer them. Now that my coaster count has gone up, and since I have no other plans to visit parks this year, I figured I'd give you my updated coaster ranking now. Number 12, back at the Barnyard Hayride at Mall of America. Number 11, Magic Flyer at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Number 10, Roadrunner Express at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Number 9, Speedy Gonzales Hot Rod Racers at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Number 8, Great Pumpkin Coaster at King's Dominion. Number 7, Timberline Twister at Knott's Berry Farm. Number 6, Woodstock Express at Michigan's Adventure. Number 5, Cobra at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Number 4, West Coaster at the Santa Monica Pier. Number 3, Zach Zoomer at Michigan's Adventure. Number 2, Wolverine Wildcat at Michigan's Adventure. And the number 1 coaster that I've ridden is Shivering Timbers at Michigan's Adventure. I decided to rearrange the Great Pumpkin Coaster with Timberline Twister because the Great Pumpkin Coaster has a more basic layout. The same thing applies to Wolverine Wildcat being an even bigger version of Zach Zoomer, and unlike Zach Zoomer, I got some airtime. Probably the first time I experienced airtime on a coaster. But Shivering Timbers is non-stop airtime in a big mile-long layout. It's definitely the best coaster of Michigan's Adventure, and it's the reason why you should visit the park. It's like the prototypical Voyage, though that ride is probably why not many talk about Timbers nowadays. But back then, it was a big deal. It often placed second in the Golden Ticket Award for Best Wooden Coaster, and the ride also made it onto the Discovery Channel. And while some still rave about it, others haven't been up there to experience this epic attraction. Okay, I think I've been talking about Shivering Timbers long enough, so let's go to the end of the day. Wildcat and Timbers had exhausted me, so I didn't ride anything else for the rest of the day. And eventually, we left the park. And so ends our stay at Michigan's Adventure. A day where we actually did more than we did last time. If I go back someday, I might re-ride Wolverine Wildcat and Shivering Timbers, but who knows? Okay, so we have no more plans to visit any parks for the rest of the year, meaning my year-long journey of talking about parks has come to an end. Now I can talk about other things I want to talk about. Whether I continue to talk about the amusement industry or other things, I hope you come along with me on my journey.